G'day friends, it's a new year and we're gonna set a few straight. This is not a gripe, but I've been watching for a while on this YouTube stuff, and I just seen a lot, a lot of people, a lot of these Mike Holmes know it all, do it all, and I just gotta say something. YouTube is a great resource for information, but just because you've seen it on here doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's gonna work, doesn't mean it's gonna save you money, and it won't give you no trouble. There's well, okay, it's to do with procrastinating, eh? Some people are just experts at this. I seen a guy, he's up in I won't mention no names here, I'll try to keep it kinda generalized. He's up in Temiskaming Shores, okay? And he built his own, he's got a sawmill, he's off-grid, yes. Off-grid, but anyways, I was gonna get into another topic there, but I won't get into that. That's for later, another. This guy saws his own wood, and he started a long time ago building a barn or a garage, post barn, and then he expanded the second story, then a lookout on top. Okay, that's starting at 30-some feet high, starting to get in there. He's still working on the roof, as a matter of fact. He doesn't have a proper ladder or scaffolds, just does it right off the cuff. I got nothing against people that want to take chances, but if you take chances, don't be kind to people and don't show it on here, okay? Like some people think that, like this guy's doesn't, I think he's got a safety belt, but he doesn't wear it. He doesn't have the proper equipment. And then let me let me elaborate. Hang on, I'm sitting myself down right here. Now, he builds post barn, okay, a post garage, or this big, maybe, 30 by 40, something like that. And then he builds an extension on the side for his sawmill. First off, it was going to be a greenhouse, but then the greenhouse panels ended up being too expensive, so it's a sawmill location now. Keep him sawn in the protection of the rain. But now he's talking, okay, about digging where the posts are, okay? Everything's hanging on the posts. Well, he's going to dig that and put foundations and support the walls. Okay, if you're going to put a foundation, you start by footings, foundation, then you build. You don't do it after. That's just like putting the cart before the horse. He's putting up the roof, okay, and then I guess, okay, he's got these long chunks of wood coming down, and it's all 2x6 for the length, even though it's 2 inches wide. For the length, and he doubles and triples them in the joints, and you're putting a lot of, anyways, I got my theories on this construction, eh? It's all going to sag with time, but hey, building code, okay, snow load, a lot of stuff to consider, eh? And then where the wall, where the roof's sitting on the wall, somebody told him about bird's foot. Like you cut a notch in the chunk of wood, you sit that down on your wall, and then you put a hurricane clamp or he's going to do it later, after, okay? So he's just got a chunk of wood tacked underneath, but then he straps it and he puts his tin on top. Well, when you got a roof sitting at 6 inches from your wall, how you gonna nail that? It makes it hard. It makes it that it's never gonna be done. Like, I've seen so much. Just lately, he bought a 210, okay? And he runs that from his house to a generator inside this barn or garage. And then he's feeding the house 220, I don't know. Hey, 220 plus a neutral, plus you're supposed to have a ground. So I know what he's doing. He's running the ground and he's using it as a neutral. I know the code for hydro, up here in Ontario, and that's a big no-no. I don't give a toot if your uncle or if your grandpa was worked for Ma Bell or hydro. I know the code, and I know that when you need a neutral, your neutral is not a ground. It'll work, but it's not right, and there's instances where you can burn stuff. If you go on to 220, straight 220, and you're balancing your load through the other phase, you'll be burning stuff out. You'll get to know when stuff starts to blow. So, get information. I have another instance, never ends. I see this, and I can't. This guy ran a wire, okay? We're at the beginning of winter, let's say, from a long distance, maybe 300 feet from this pole barn to the house, but he ran it on the surface. Should have done that last summer or last fall, when he could dig, and put it legally there. It's supposed to be 2 feet underground. 2 feet. But, okay, he's not hooked up to hydro, so he figures inspection department has nothing to do with him. Well, he's wrong. But I'm not going to be the one to tell him. But at least bury it underground, under the surface. That goes right across the driveway. So he's gonna drive on that all, even if it's direct underground buried. He's gonna be driving on that all winter. And you guys didn't know this, but I can predict the future. I can predict that this winter, this wire is going to get caught up in a snowblower, and next year he'll be doing a splice. But I'd rather not think about it, Okay, now we got another expert. Sounds like I got a lot of grief for the new year, I just want to get this off. We may get into stories soon, like, because my garage is starting to, I won't show you, but it's kind of full, and full of summer stuff, So I can't move much, but I can tell stories. This guy lives up in Alaska. He built his own house. Okay, we'll call it a house. It's not a shed. It's a house because he's going to live in there. He's living in it as it is. First of all, he built it on stilts, okay? So he's got the wind will be blowing under this. He built it on sonotubes, maybe 2.5, 3 feet off the ground. Anyway, he insulated that with real insulation. The pink stuff or the yellow stuff, not even rock wool. Rock wool there, the mice won't go play in that. But the pink stuff, the squirrels and the mice, they just love that stuff, And he didn't put no plywood or put nothing under there, So next spring or summer, it'll be all to do over again. But hey, not my not my place. But the worst thing of it all, okay, he's got a roof, pretty steep roof. He proceeded to block all the ends. See here, I was going to pull one out. I got some on the other side there, over the wife's car there. They call that vent more. So the air, the fresh air comes in on the eaves, goes against the roof, where the insulation is packed in, and this venting stuff. So there's just a styrofoam with about 2 inches, but allows air, cold air, to go along the roof, and then it'll find its way in the attic, and then your vents will vent humidity. If there's always, when you heat, there's always infiltration, heat infiltration. Doesn't matter if you got that much heat insulation in the attic, or that much heat's gonna find its way up there, eh? So you gotta, with the air coming in, fresh air, that heat has to be exited, or else it'll condensate on your roof. Then you'll have damage. Plywood, the aspenite, or whatever your roof is made out of, eh? And if you get humidity attacking the plywood, you'll get undulation, eh? If you ever see a roof in the winter, eh, when it freezes on top there, if you ever see a roof that's going like that there, then you know that roof's got condensation on the inside, and the roof is warping with with the water. But that's not the worst of it all, eh? He doesn't have no ventilation, okay? He doesn't have no ridge vent. So he's got insulation. Oh, that's perfect. Some people think just because they insulate their wall, okay, and someone won't pack that insulation in the wall, just because you insulate the wall, you're going to keep some of the heat in. But every wall, okay, it's cold on the outside, wall or ceiling, cold on the outside, hot on the inside. The heat travels towards the coal, okay, and where the two meet, they call that the dew point. The dew point is where it condensates. So if you don't evacuate that heat, okay, in a pretty fast manner, like air circulation will evacuate that heat, then you get condensation, and that's where the problems start. This guy, he built up in Alaska, which is probably a little bit cold, eh? Maybe even colder than around here. Well, he's going to have problems because now his roof's going to sweat down towards and onto the walls. The walls are going to sweat down towards the floor. And then on the floor, and he's finished the floors, eh, with this laminate flooring, eh. Well, that's all going to have to be done. And last year he had problems. It was getting wet at certain places, but he was saying that his wood was drying, eh. The condensation in the wood was coming out, eh. It's the walls and the ceiling was sweating, and it was going down towards the floor. And that's where it stayed on the floor. It was all wet in the corners especially. Anyways, I don't want to predict a bad future or anything. But some people, first of all, YouTube is great for information, but it's not, it doesn't tell the whole story, eh? You gotta, on YouTube, you gotta read a lot. You gotta listen to a lot of videos and then make sense of what's right and what's wrong. Because some people will steer you into the garden path, or it's the bad way of doing it. But anyways, my best advice in the new year for you do-it-yourselfers, look at a lot of videos before you do something. And I'm saying that, and I'm not the best to show or to learn people how to do it, because my way is not necessarily the right way, but it's my way. And you guys do it your way. Okay, hey, we're off to a good start, eh? With this, I wish you all a happy new year, because I missed out on that. And I hope, well, I know one thing, there's a few stories coming. So, as usual, this is your chance to subscribe to this valuable channel. And we'll see you in the next one.